My name is Alistair Hogg. I'd like to welcome you today to my home in Lofts for an insight into my world of racing pigeons. In the background here you can see the loft accommodation. It is a saddleback loft of continental design. These two sections here are designed primarily for domestic racing, for the old birds, and in the end here we have an aviary situation for the young stock of the current year, and this obviously aids for good health. My loft is situated in the back garden. It has an open environment and a sunny atmosphere inside for the pigeons. This obviously helps for the good condition of them, and the outlook is idyllic. It's open farmland and it's facing in a southeast direction. The pigeons I have currently housed in Sunny Lofts are designed for all disciplines. The pigeons are predominantly built on first prize winning stock that I have raced very successfully in the domestic programme here in the central parts of Scotland. I have built on these pigeons with international ace pigeons from the continent and beyond to bring the breeding stock up to the next level to participate in the international one loft racing that I specialise in at this moment in time. The experience of pigeons in actual fact was self-taught. Obviously as a boy, from a willingness to learn by a process of elimination and through your own faults and obviously diminished results. Obviously you want to do better and basically you just gain all your experiences as you go along. International pigeon racing started for me in 1997 when I entered the Sun City $1 Million Pigeon Race. This is seen to be in the international sport as one of the hardest campaigns to go into, and it seemed ironic that I chose this to be my first one. The pigeons had to cover a distance of 5,600 kilometres to reach the final event. I was very fortunate in this particular campaign being my first one, and I tasted my first international success being first UK, first European and 10th Open over the whole international field that I competed in that campaign that particular year. I built on the success by then entering other one loft races, primarily in the UK. I felt this was then going to be the springboard where I could then test my breeding stock just to make sure the success was going to continue. Pleasantly, but not surprisingly, this did continue. This then has allowed me to compete in races all around Europe, and indeed now we find ourselves in the Far East. There's something about when you breed a pigeon, or I should say when you couple two pigeons together, primarily on paper, to get that winning gene going as you see it. That at the end of the day is just purely a theory. We take it from that and we put it into practice. We couple the two pigeons together, and in your mind's eye over a number of years of experience, you can nearly almost imagine the product at the end of it all. The winning gene is never far away from any of my top performers, whether it be in the racing basket or indeed the breeding loft, and therefore reproduction with regards to entering them into, with confidence I would add, into these international events. JZ, this is without doubt one of the best breeding hens I've ever had in my life. She's a world producing hen with different cocks. She is mother to first Open International, second Open International and consecutive generations of pigeons to feature high within the top 10 of the international racing from mainland Europe to as far away as Asia. National Express. This is another top racer producer from the breeding loft. He is sire to first national, 2 first federations and 7th combined with up to 5,000 pigeons. He is also sire to pigeons to feature very highly in Thailand, and indeed he was first in the Singburi, Thailand 2010 race and 45th Open in the King's Cup final race, 560 kilometres. West Tip. Here we have another top international winner from the potent breeding hen JZ. He was first Open winner of the International Southwest One Loft race in 2008, winning £4,000. In the same event, he was third ace pigeon over the whole series and the full international competition from a full distance of 550 kilometres. Anniversary Girl. Again, here we have another proven international pigeon currently now in the stock loft. She is the winner of the second Open Europa Classic One Loft race in 2005, where she won £15,000. What makes this pigeon equally so special? She was dammed to the first Open Odin World International final race in Germany in 2009, and also the first open 2-bird challenge equally in the same event. She has produced no fewer than 3 generations of winning pigeons in the international one loft races. Hopkins 351. This has been a fantastic racing pigeon. He was first club, first section, 25,350 pigeons. He was also 60th Open, 10,235 birds, and 121st Open, 14,890 birds. What makes this pigeon special is he was also a direct hit in the breeding loft, where he bred West Tip, first Open International in the Southwest One Loft race in 2008. I believe it's in the breeding loft and in the breeding gene of the pigeon. Once it then is removed from its natural environment, it must then stand and fall on the breeding values that we have put together in the breeding loft. Come on in, come on in. The pigeons we see currently feeding in this loft here are in actual fact pigeons that have been retained for stock. Equally, these are from the best pigeons, and these have been graded on quality, balance and performance. Here we are currently in the young bird loft. This is the young bird group of the season 2011. There is a full representation of all the breeding stock that are currently housed in the loft at the moment in here, from our club winners, our federation winners and indeed our international winners. The pigeons have colour-coded rings on them. That in actual fact is a good way for us actually keeping a track on the prepotent breeding lines to make sure that they're still carrying on the winning gene into the competition that we enter them into. In an environment like this, the way I keep these young birds, it's important they are kept as close to nature as possible because this aids the immunity system. This, I believe, again, is one of the contributing factors to my success in the international one loft racing. This is the first old bird section here. Both cocks and hens are currently together as the old bird racing campaign has come to a conclusion. The successes of this year are very favourable, and it's obviously a testament to the breeding lines are on track. This is the breeding loft. The pigeons that are housed in here are in actual fact going to be the old birds for next year. In this loft is a strong representation of ace pigeons, Olympiad pigeons and international pigeons of all disciplines. A lot of these pigeons here today are actually designed for the Chinese market. We have a client base out there and have been very successful with the pigeons so far from the very few that were sent out there. We attend an expo in Langfang in November, of which these birds will be mature enough and they'll be ready to be exported. There's going to be some very lucky fanciers. Transportation for the pigeons would always be seen as an obstacle for many people. Thankfully, we're close to Edinburgh Airport and various links in actual fact to the continent, which allows this process to take effect. It is my aim to breed pigeons that are capable of flying in all terrains and relatively unassisted once they leave the home loft. What my ultimate goal in all this is to compete on a high level on a regular basis against the best in the world.